Hey wrestlers, hey parents, hey coaches. My name is Dr. Joshua with the Drew Wrestling Academy here at Body Rejuvenation. Today we're going to talk through everything you need to know about maximizing your pull-up strength, your row strength, and hitting those critical pull positions so that you can capitalize on the mat with your newfound strength. This is so much different than hitting your traditional pull-ups and hitting your traditional rows. We are going to take your rope climbs, your pull-ups, your rows to the next level, make them specific for the sport of wrestling so you feel the difference. When you get in on that shot, you're able to pull it. When you get in on that front head, you're able to maintain it while you go to hit that finish. So all of this stuff's going to tie together. If you haven't already, join us on Facebook, follow our Rejuve Wrestling Academy page, follow us on Instagram, Body Rejuvenators. We are demonstrating things daily, weekly, so you guys can see all of it. Our YouTube channel, go down, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, follow us so you're getting updates on all this stuff. The YouTube is where we post all of our educational series so you guys can understand and implement. Share this with your coaches, share this with your strength coaches. Get after this stuff, make your whole team better so you guys can start winning those state, team, section, national titles, world titles, whatever it is. It's going to take you to the next level. All right, here we go. Let's get started. All right, so what we need to know about wrestling stuff. There's a few keys here that I want you guys to understand. One is that when I'm hitting my pulling positions, I need to be working on my fully extended positions to my tight rib positions. A lot of times when I start looking at people that do pulls, they capitalize on that middle portion because it's easy. It's hard for me to hit fully extended pull-ups, and it's hard for me to hit fully tight rows or pulls to my ribs. A lot of times when people do their pull-ups, they go from their chin down to about here. I want to get fully extended, and I want to maximize my pull up top. I don't want to just get my chin above it. I want to try to get all the way to my nipples as I'm going. So full range of motion, what I mean by that is when I get in on a shot, I don't want to be here. I want this thing tight to my chest, because if it's tight to my chest, now every movement that my hips do, I'm going to be able to move that person around. If I got room in my arms here and I go to stand up, now they can still fight me, they can still sprawl. I still have to work on these positions. So capitalize on the full pull positions. Next thing I want you to focus on is always using your thumb. So anytime I'm going through pulling and grip variations, I need to use my thumb with them, because there's always, in wrestling, I'm using my thumb for that wrist control. Hooks are easy. My false grip here to do my hooks, to do some of my snaps, that stuff is easy. But if I don't train how to use my thumb, I don't get my activation from my forearms, from my hand, from my elbow, from my bicep, all the way up to my shoulders. So when I do this and I fully use my thumb, I get stabilization here, I get more stabilization here, and overall I get more pulling strength back at my shoulder because I've learned how to lock everything out. If I go to a false grip position, whether it's with my pull-ups or with my rows, now I'm not getting full activation. I'm not getting full activation. Therefore, I'm not going to be able to maximize out my pulling strength on the backside. So always use those thumbs, working your way through. The last thing I want you to understand is a little bit more on the amount of weight that you're using and the core stabilization that goes with it. So being able to dissociate shoulder movements is what it's called. I'm not just doing, so typically what we see is we do traditional pull-ups, right? Where I'm doing a pull-up here, but in wrestling, everything is dissociating. What I mean by that is independent of one another. So when I'm hitting my pull variations, I'm always having to use some sort of core or rotation with it. But I'm using one arm while I'm doing something else with another arm. I'm doing one arm as I'm doing something else with another arm as I'm going. So we have to think through that. And it's much different than just hitting a row. As I do my row, what is it that I'm doing with my other arm? Or what is it that I'm doing with my core as I'm doing that? So I'm going to give you guys a few exercise examples here so you guys can start to understand this stuff and implement it. But understand that I have to be able to use one arm independent of the other as I go to hit pulls, or if I get in on that shot, I have to be able to pull it in tight here and hold it so that I can do something else with this hand, switch, transition, raise it up, whatever it may be, so that I can take that performance to the next level. Otherwise, I'm going to be constantly getting into scrambles. I'm going to be constantly losing my position because I don't have the strength to capitalize once I get there. So here's a couple of examples. Working our way through a traditional pull-up variation. This is a pretty big reach, but you guys will get the idea of it. Start smaller, work your way up to it. So I'm going to start my full hang position here. Now I'm going to reach up, grab that bar. You'll notice that I got my thumb working up top here. I'm then going to sink all the way back in, big reach up, use that thumb. So you'll notice that my pull hand that's on the bar, I'm trying to get that one to my nipple line, tight to my ribs, as my other one is doing some sort of work here, fully extended using that thumb. So start progressing your way in. If you need bands, add the bands in. Start to get used to that dissociated shoulder movement, working my way through. As I'm hitting my rows, traditionally what I see a lot is the old post and start the lawnmower. So people will post up here, they'll just come here and start thinking they're hitting their pulls. Instead of posting, again, I don't ever have a damn post when I'm in on a wrestling shot, right? I'm not gonna post up on a bench and be able to pull that leg up and then be able to start to finish it. So use your core, get in that stance so that when I'm in my stance, it's always my opposite arm, opposite leg. I've got my lead leg forward. I'm not gonna reach with my same arm, same leg and open myself up. So I'm here, I'm defending that position. I'm hitting my pull with my opposite side and I'm getting it tight to my ribs. So I'm in that stance. My back is locked out, hips are loaded. Now I have to use my core, my hips to coordinate at the same time. I pull it tight to my ribs. Now I can move a little bit, boom, sink it back in. But I keep it tight to my ribs. I get that rib hold. I'm not just getting it there. I'm trying to break my own damn ribs as I get there. So now I'm pulling so tight that I'm trying to capitalize everything I got. You'll notice that when you start to do this, people cannot defend your shots anymore because when you get in, they cannot get their leg back. Now I can start to finish. I got time. If I don't have that strength, they're going to sprawl on me every time and my arm is not going to be able to hold that position. So I'm here tight to my rib. Now my guts, anytime I go into that Greco season freestyle, my guts are going to get much tighter because instead of just working here, you're able to actually bring it tight to your ribs, which means that all that transfer of force is going to go into your roll, into your laces, into your guts, right? So all of that is going to transfer over because you've learned how to get that tight pull position. So there's a good example for your rib holds. So going into another position here. Learning how to dissociate shoulder movements. So I'm here, I got a band up over, it's in a high pull position. I'm gonna bump this dumbbell up over my head. Now my opposite leg goes forward, my arm that's gonna be hitting my pull. Now I'm gonna get it tight to my ribs, but you'll notice that I have to stay relaxed here with my dumbbell overhead as I'm doing it. I don't want everything rotating and I'm gonna lose my control. So learn your shoulder control, core, and pull without having to rotate. So I'm here, I'm not doing this, pulling my way through. I stay in that good position. Now I'm working my hips, my core, my shoulders with my pull strength so that no matter what, I'm in these positions, I'm gonna learn how to start pulling while I'm capitalizing on strength in other areas. So I hope that gives you guys some good examples. If you want our Wrestling Specific Strength program, click below, download that thing. Again, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, get more ideas about our pull-up variations for wrestlers. Take your strength to the next level on that mat. Have fun, get after it, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We'll see you in the future.